Dude, I want. Golly, there's.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So how have you been doing?
I'm good. I'm good, dude. Alive and kicking as always. Are we starting this yet, or are we doing an intro, or are we just going, or are we? Okay, never mind.
What are you talking about? You just want me to say welcome in to the Mind of Coach podcast? This is episode.
You know we got.
Lame Brown.
You know we got.
Gotta take this out. All right. We're starting it right now. So how have you been doing?
I'm good, man. I'm doing swell. I'm splendid. I cannot complain. I'm alive and kicking. How are you doing?
Good. You said the guys were coming back soon?
Yeah, guys are coming back soon. So yeah, man. I'm excited for this summer. I'm really excited. But yeah, so nothing else, just getting ready for that stuff. What about y'all?
Man, good. Just getting prepared for camps, etc. It's coming up fast, so been working a lot. I actually got to go to this Nation of Coaches event. I guess for the viewers out there that think that we were recording it on Friday morning, we're not. So just got back from that actually. And man, it was so good. I have 8 pages of notes from Jimmy Dykes to Scott Drew to Richie McKay at Liberty to Scott Stover at Chick-fil-A. And all of them gosh, like they're just so much good stuff.
Biggest takeaway off the top, biggest takeaway.
Oh man, I'd say intentionality. And yeah, just the importance of being intentional. One, Jimmy Dykes talked about it, just like intentional with your time with God. Then because that's how everything flows. If you are intentional with your time with God, then everything can flow out of that. But to say that you're too busy, you're never too busy to take some time out to do it. He said that it's an excuse and you're never going to be not this busy. So it's best to start now. I thought that was really good. And he went into intentionality about players too, coaches, just like basically like your whole life. If you're just intentional, and that's kind of what I grabbed from it was if you're intentional, then life is pretty good, you know, and you have the ability to care and make an impact on more people. But man, there's way too much good stuff, man. I would be talking.
Who was your favorite to hear speak?
Man, Richie McKay was really, really good.
Was he?
He was really, really good. But I honestly probably Scott Stover. Scott Drew was amazing. So
you got to hear Scott Drew.
Yeah.
So what was he talking about?
Well, shoot, I'll give you a couple notes real quick here.
Yeah, let me hear it.
So he was like, they were basically interviewing him and, he's been talking about it, but he talked a little bit about culture of joy. Okay. So I don't know if you know, joy is for Jesus, others, yourself. Okay. So it's actually an acronym too in itself.
Jesus, others, yourself.
I didn't know that, but
I didn't know that either.
And also, so they have they're more able to talk about the Christian aspect because they're from a private Baptist school. Yeah. That's what Baylor is. Yep. And so he talked about a lot. I mean, just like how they're building their culture. Basically, the same thing that we had at Lipscomb and no cussing. He talked about rewarding teammates by praising other teammates. Like that, like you're rewarding a teammate by like praising them. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Like a teammate is rewarding, you said like a teammate is rewarding another teammate?
By praising them.
Right.
So it feels really good when you get praised by somebody else, your teammate. And so that's just kind of like the culture that he talked about. But then his dad, Homer Drew, was there too. He talked and he got awarded the Master Coach Award, which is with Nation of Coaches. They've been doing it since 2014. So that was pretty big time. But he said, what you put time in, you will be good at. Isn't that the simplest but most profound thing you've ever heard? Yeah. If you put time into it, you will be good at it.
Yeah, you'll get good at it.
If you put time into your marriage, you'll be good at it. If you put time into your kids, you'll be good at it. If you put time into work, you'll be good at it. And once again, like Jimmy Dykes talked about, it's intentional time and effort. So I thought those were really good. And then Richie McKay, way too much stuff. Like it was just phenomenal, man.
That's awesome.
And I'll talk about it more with you later, but
yeah,
I won't bore all these poor people out here. Not poor as in this, like
we got it.
Or okay, just cover my trail.
Hey, some of the best advice, isn't always the most complicated stuff. Sometimes it's
I'll tell you what, it's like what you were talking about with what you were telling me about Coach King. It's just sometimes you just need a refresher.
Yeah.
And and sometimes it just sounds better. The simplest things that you've heard 1,000 times just sound better from certain people.
Right. Hey, well, I didn't even think about this. The world, I guess, is back to normal. We got conventions again.
Asa, right? Asa, you know what I just forgot?
Yeah, conventions again. That's a great thing.
I know, but I forgot something.
What?
Welcome into the Mind of a Coach podcast. This is episode Kwame Brown with the Pistons 38.
Did you do some research for that one?
I had to.
I knew you did because I was thinking all day. I was like, dadgummit, who is 38? And I thought like the Celtics had somebody recently, or like, I don't know, in the past 5 or 7 years it was 38.
Yeah.
But I was literally sitting here before we started recording. I was like, I'm gonna research something. I started typing, who wore 38 in the NBA, and I was like, I'm not gonna do it. It's gotta be authentic. And so I did.
No, I looked it up today because I was like, I really don't know anybody that wore 38.
Yeah.
And then it was like one of them was Kwame Brown, and I was like, well, if he's not the most relevant current basketball players right now, like.
This is the most relevant. This is the most relevant he's been since he was the number 1 pick.
Yeah, but man, hey, he hasn't been speaking not truth.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not mad at him for defending himself.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Now I wish that like a bunch of kids wouldn't listen to it and be like, oh, that's how you should talk to people. But, at a certain point, he's gotten a lot of people have ragged on him, and for him to, I'm not mad at him.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, I think the situation is I think he's gained more respect than he's lost respect from people. I think.
Yes.
Right? Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
But
hold up.
What?
What do you have to get off your chest, sir?
That's it. Dude, honestly, well, that's it. That's why I said you went to a convention. The world is back to normal. People are gathering together to learn in community and bounce ideas off each other. The world is back.
Yes.
Can you believe what we just went through? Now you're going to conventions.
Dude, I promise you. So it'll be in the history books, obviously. Can you imagine like 20 years from now, we'll like be talking to our kids and they have no idea what we're talking about?
Oh my gosh.
Like, what do you mean you had to wear masks everywhere?
Well,
what do you mean you couldn't go outside? You couldn't hang out with people? I mean, I hope that's the case.
Yeah, I hope that's how we all look at it.
But man, I mean, this past year, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, but yeah, that was it. We said it right before your intro. The world is back, dude. The world is back, baby.
Yeah, well, I'm sure glad it is. You
want to talk a little NBA playoffs? Or you been watching anything?
Yeah, let's hit it really quick. I think my boy G-Matt needs to get in the game. Yeah. I think I looked at I know they're losing to Sixers right now. They're about to lose, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you need 3-point shooting. And I mean, they're like Ace, I just don't understand. You're 2 for 21 from the game, and why isn't Garrison playing earlier? And so now he's 0 for 2 because he's played in garbage minutes, which, okay, actually, I want to recoin that phrase. No minutes are garbage minutes because every single minute is an evaluation period. I want to be very clear about that.
There we go.
But he is playing in it will not change the impact of this game. How I should have put that.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. And I'm obviously biased. I'm not in that locker room every single day, but I just wish they'd give him some more time. But besides that, I do wish that Steph had made the playoffs. However, grit and grind is back.
I know, man. We got Memphis back in the conversation, making some noise.
I love to see it. I'm glad that Anthony Davis had a good game last game.
Yeah. The whole, pretty much the whole starting five just balled out, except KCP played like 36 minutes, and I don't think he scored at all.
Winning formula.
Winning formula. You're right.
Winning formula. But I think that's gonna be a heck of a series. I think that might go 6 or 7.
Clippers down 0-2. Love to see it.
I'm telling you right now, I think it's a sweep.
I think it is too. They're about to go back to Dallas, and Luka has not yet had a home playoff game with a crowd. He hadn't had a home playoff game ever. This is going to be.
I don't know if you. The Clippers just lost. And Kawhi had 41, and Paul George had 28.
And they shot.
It wasn't like Paul George. I believe went 12 for 22, which is above 50%, and Kawhi went 14 for 21, and they lost.
Yeah.
Now, however, I don't see Hardaway getting you 28 points again. But if you got a three-headed snake that's giving you each 20 plus, and Hardaway, Porzingis, and Luka, that's pretty. They're scary. Like that. I mean, these past 2 games, they are scary. But who else we got?
Should we just go
the Hawks and Knicks?
Oh yeah, I didn't watch that. I know Randall had a horrible game on. I guess what was that? Monday, Sunday? When was that?
Sunday. No, what is today?
Today's Wednesday, so I guess it would have been Monday.
It would have been Monday. Yeah, but they're playing right now. It's tied up 72s.
Yeah, I think the Knicks are gonna. I think the Knicks are gonna bounce back after that because they did not play good in game 1.
Yeah, I mean Randall is still struggling. Struggling is such a funny word. He's 3 for 10 from the field right now. 2 of his 3 makes are from the 3-point line, which is actually kind of crazy. Yeah. And dude has played 28 minutes, but I said he's struggling. He's got 11 points and 10 rebounds. So he's got a double-double, not even in the fourth quarter yet. So as a superstar, he's struggling, but as a normal basketball player, he's having a good game.
Yeah.
But D-Rose got 22. So.
Right now he does?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the Knicks are going to win this series.
Yeah. I hope they do. I hope they do. Just because of the futility that they've been over, ever.
Yeah, it'd be nice to give Spike something to cheer about.
Yes. All right, man.
All right, so you got hold up. Before we go, I got to ask you, finals prediction right now. Give me the 2 teams in the finals. Who's winning it?
Oh, gosh. Lakers in Brooklyn. And Brooklyn's going to win it. I'm lying. That's complete. That's complete reverse psychology that I just did that. The Lakers are going to win it. The Lakers are going to win it, and they're going to play the Nets.
Let me tell you what's not happening.
What?
The Lakers are going to win the championship.
No, not at all.
Well, I mean, as long as the
Bucks, mate, dude, the Bucks are looking. The Bucks are looking pretty good.
AD's just got to be consistent. If he can be consistent, they can beat anybody. But I mean, he's just got to be in my opinion, he's got to be on the block or set a pick and roll and get to the rim. If you put LeBron and AD in the action, that is scary.
Oh yeah.
And the problem is Drummond has clogged it up underneath. But I didn't actually get to watch this last game, so I could be just talking out of my mind.
Much either, but
I watched game 1, but I think that'll go 6 or 7. Yeah. But dude, so I'm gonna go Nets. Like I have no doubt in my mind the Nets are getting there.
You don't think the Bucks can get them if they make it? Yeah, I don't think so.
No. I mean they might steal a game or 2.
Right.
But dude, I mean it's just you got 3 of the top 15 players in the league on your team.
Right.
2 of the top 5.
Yeah.
I mean, and now you can say the same thing about the Lakers. Like they got AD.
Who's coming out of the West?
See, that's the one I'm really. I really don't know if the Lakers will. I really don't.
I mean, yeah, I don't.
But it's also like, do I really want to bet against LeBron? No. However, so this is my problem. I really think this is what I'll say. This is what I say. I think the winner of this series is going to make the finals. So if the Suns make it out of this series, I think the Suns, I think Chris Paul gets to his first finals. However, I do not think I do. Okay, so that's my prediction. I don't have to do anything else. But so most likely the Lakers, Nets, but Suns, Nets too. That's
pretty bold. So that's pretty bold. Yeah. Who else do we think? I mean, does Dallas have a shot? No.
maybe.
The Jazz.
The Nuggets were there last year.
Yeah, but they don't got Jamal Murray. They can't. I mean, I know Jokic, but you need Jamal Murray.
That's not enough.
To win.
It's not enough. Jazz, maybe with Donovan Mitchell coming back. Yeah, I'd see them get into the conference finals and lose.
The West feels weird right now. The West feels weird, and I think it's because of the seeding. I mean,
yes, because LeBron should not be a 7 seed. Anyway, we're getting way off.
Yeah, we're way off on a tangent. Sorry, you our beautiful listeners. We apologize for that. Hope you're still sticking with us. We have a great guest on the show with us today. So Nate, let's go ahead and get into it.
Let's go.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Coach? How we
doing?
Doing good, man. How are y'all?
We are good.
No complaints. No complaints.
Appreciate you coming on, man.
Yes, thank you.
Where are you at? Are you at home? Are you at Lee or where?
Me?
I'm in Nashville. He's in Cleveland.
Okay. Yeah, well, first, congrats to you for getting the job.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Good deal, man.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I got to learn under Coach Smith for a year, and that was awesome. And then Coach Rose is top 5 guy as well. So
yeah, I was gonna
got
say,
to learn.
You're replacing a legend, so that's the bad part.
I know, right?
You know Cole pretty well too, don't you, Coach?
Yeah. We're good friends.
Yeah, he's awesome. Great guy.
He is. Yeah, we we had him on the podcast too. That was awesome. That was my first time really talking to him.
I haven't listened to his episode. I listened to Coach King.
Yeah.
Casey, Lenny.
I
think I started Russ's, but I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
I didn't know Cole came on.
Yeah, he did, man. He did.
He was actually one of our first ones.
Yeah, he was. He was early on.
Yeah, I'll definitely listen to that one.
Chase, I'm going to go ahead and get into it real quick, man, if you don't mind. We have Coach Chase Teichmann on the show with us today. He's a Nashville native, played for Coach Dennis King at Brentwood High School. He went on to be a student assistant at Chattanooga under Will Wade, which I got some questions for you about him too. He then became a graduate assistant at Freed-Hardeman, and before becoming an assistant coach, he got hired as an assistant at Florida College in 2017, and then you were named the head coach at Florida College in 2020. Coach, appreciate you coming on, man. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so you get hired, first-time head coach in a pandemic. What's going through your mind?
Well, it's never a bad time to get a head coaching job.
Yeah.
But that was really weird, just like because the players are gone and then you don't get to see them again until, August or July. And then with recruiting, like we weren't done recruiting yet. And so with recruiting, we had to do the whole – I mean, again, this is stuff everybody's done, but it was just different for me because it was, taking over the program. But trying to get players in. I mean, I took like so many pictures of stuff, and I was working with our school on like getting a virtual tour up because we didn't have anything that at the time. Yeah, so like it was just crazy to try and make all that work in the middle of all that, and it ended up okay, but it was crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so hey, I texted your brother Grant today, and I told him that we were having you on the podcast, and so I asked him if there were anything I should ask you, anything funny, serious or whatever, and so he told me a story. He told me a few things. I'm not going to tell all of them right now, but he told me a story. I guess you were working at a at a restaurant or something when you were younger, and you got employee of the month, and there was some sheet of paper that you wrote you wrote on what do you want to be, I guess, when you grow up? What's your dream job? I think is what he said. And you said a head college basketball coach, and now you're here. Kind of talk to us about just that whole thing coming to fruition.
That's funny. He told you that. That's crazy thing about that is it's not that long ago. It was in college, so it's probably like 2013 or something. So it wasn't like I was like 14 years old or anything. I was just in college, making money just to live off. And like you said, I guess I got employee of the week or something, some little thing where they give you like $20, and they put up like a flyer of you and a picture of you holding the money and like 5 or 6 questions. It's actually in Chattanooga. Nathan could probably go there. It's a pizza place in Chattanooga called Community Pie.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you recommending it?
There's a plug right there. It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so one of the questions was, I don't know, what do you want to? I don't know if it was when you grow up, but what?
I think you said like dream job.
Probably dream job. What is your dream job? And I just said college basketball coach, or maybe college basketball head coach. Yeah. So it is cool that it finally happened. But it wasn't like something I thought was like crazy at the time. Obviously it seems far-fetched from what you're doing at the moment, but I mean, you guys have had other people on. I'm sure other people have like much crazier things of what they, came from to what they are, now.
Mm-hmm. All right. So going off, so he talked about Grant bringing him a question. So you are part of a pretty big basketball family. Kyle, all-time leading scorer at Freed-Hardeman. Grant, championship game, Brentwood High School, goes to Carson Newman, kills it. Your head coach. What was the Teichmann household like growing up?
When you have 4 boys that are all, between 18 months and like 2 years apart, because we're all 2 grades apart, relatively large individuals, nobody's, I'm the smallest one. I'm still like 6'1". So, just food is getting ran through and, especially when you're younger, just fights like crazy and getting mad at each other when you beat each other in video games. And it was crazy like when we were really young. And then once you get to high school and stuff and everybody's got practices going on at different times, it was probably chaotic still to most people, but for us, it probably felt much more like relaxed, but competitive environment, with three brothers for each of us, all playing sports and all being, pretty competitive and kind of having mutual similar interests. And it was, everybody kind of trying to like one up each other all the time. So it was, I think it made all of us kind of who we are today, but it was fun for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, cool. I guess Nate, you got 3 other brothers too.
I do.
Yeah.
Unless you guys are like super far apart, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So, okay. So they all played basketball, or they played basketball. You're coaching basketball. How much advice are they trying to give you now?
My brothers?
Yes. Maybe unwarranted advice.
So my older brother, Kyle, coaches high school in West Tennessee. And we talk about coaching stuff some, but for the most part, we're both just kind of in our own seasons, and we're just more so like checking on each other rather than like, hey,
bouncing ideas and schemes and whatnot.
It's not really like, hey, how did you guard this ball screen or something like that.
Gotcha.
Also, he's got like, kind of small level private school basketball in West Tennessee, and we're talking about, high level college basketball. But so some of the stuff's just different. Mm-hmm. But, and then Grant's playing professionally in Germany. So
yeah,
even his stuff's different than ours too, because it's like, the pro game's different, shorter shot clock, imports, old guys, young guys. So it's crazy. We're all 3 on these 3 different levels. And it is the same sport, but it's also like very different, and Grant and they were playing for money and there's all the things that go along with that. So we all do talk a lot, and basketball definitely comes up, but it's not in the way that like someone may think, like you kind of mentioned. It's not really like that.
Sure. That's perfect.
How was your experience with Coach King? And kind of, yeah.
Well, it's like I said, I listened to his episode today with you guys, and I texted him that I was coming on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He shaped like, who I am as a coach a lot. Like I'm very attention to detail person, and obviously bring that to my job. But he is very detail oriented, and going through playing for him, and we would be scouting opponents and stuff like that. To me, it was just like that was the norm, and I just thought this is what you do to try and give yourself the best chance to win. And then when I would have teammates or friends, at other places, and they'd be like, scouting report, what are you talking about? Film, like this, and they're, you went over that. And I'm like, yeah. Well, how did you play a game without it? And so I thought it was the norm, but come to find out, he's just that much better than everybody else. And I was scared of him when I played for him, just like most people were. Yeah. But now it's fun. I mean, he watches some of our games, and I'll send him like a video clip, and we'll get like one of his plays for like a backdoor dunk or something, and we, I'll say, hey, I just found this set, what do you think about it? And he's like, oh, that's great. I'm going to send that to Aaron Howard. So, it's cool. I mean, he taught me a lot, and I still think about, even though it's such a long time ago, I still think about things that he used to teach us all the time.
He's such a brilliant basketball mind, man. I was actually I was on a Zoom with him last week. Penny wanted to have kind of just a little X's and O's, kind of refreshing his memory on some stuff. And so it was cool just to sit back and I wasn't doing any talking or anything. I was just enjoying hearing Coach King and Penny talk X's and O's. It was pretty cool. Did Grant's season, did it get cut short again?
His season didn't. Well, his team season did, yeah.
His team season.
Last year, of course, the whole thing was because of the pandemic. This year, his team got COVID outbreak so they do like a pool play where there's 4 teams in a pool and they play each team twice. Mm-hmm. So 6 total games, and I think it was after the 3rd or 4th. I think it was the 4th game. His team was done, and so they didn't get to play their last 2 games.
And
they weren't going to advance anyway, but yeah, it sucked. Our season ended the same way. We kind of went all year without an outbreak, and then right before our last 2 regular season games, we had a bunch of positives, and we couldn't go to our conference tournament either. So
that stinks.
We won our last game, not knowing it was our last game. So
hey, well, I mean, at least that not everybody can say that.
No, I know. But
only a few teams in the country.
Yeah. So you go to Chattanooga, you become a student assistant. Is that something that you went into Chattanooga knowing that you wanted to do? Did you know coaching, that you were trying to get into it at that time, or was it something that, I'm kind of interested in it, let me see where this takes me?
Sort of. So I always knew that I wanted to coach. Like I should say I always knew I wanted to like lead something, but obviously sports and basketball, it's just a love of mine. And when you don't play in college, that makes it harder. And so I went to college, and I didn't do the student assistant thing right away. Mm-hmm. John Shulman was actually the coach at Chattanooga, and we're friends now, which is funny. But I didn't go help him out. And then I had a friend that was at Freed-Hardeman, obviously where Kyle played at the time, and he was their assistant coach. And when Will was coming in, he told me, hey, I think this would be a good guy for you to work for. It was going into my junior year. And I was like, I still want to do this, for a career. So I got to get in sometime. So I started that going into my junior year for Coach Wade, and I only did it for a year.
Okay.
And but it wasn't something it wasn't like a crazy spur of the moment thing, but it also wasn't something I was going to college like I'm going to Chattanooga to be a student assistant. It wasn't like that at all.
Right. So how the okay, hang on real quick. So did you what was it like being under Will Wade for a year?
It was interesting because like everything that I'd known to that point, obviously was just playing in high school, and then the college game, the only thing I knew was just the NAIA level pretty much. All my connections were kind of there. Mm-hmm. And so being at a Division I was different, like just the big arena. And I mean, Coach Wade is like really into he's just like an analysis guy. Like like our guys wore like heart rate monitors during practice, and our strength guy was always over there, checking to see if this guy's low fit or this guy needs to be sat out. And I remember one of the crazier things he was doing, and maybe a lot of people do this, I thought it was interesting, is like we had like a stopwatch, and we had, just a manager sitting there making layups, and we had our foreman just grabbing it from the goal and taking it out of bounds. And like he was literally clocking how fast they would do it and writing down, like each guy did it like 50 times. Wow. And it's like, okay, 0.3, 0.4, 0.35, 0.26, and seeing who's the best at that.
Wow.
Which I thought was crazy. And, like every single time, got to make sure the foot's behind the line. So I mean, he was just different. He was different than Coach King or Coach Shelton or some of the other guys that I'd, been familiar with. But he's a grinder. I mean, he'd sleep in the office, and big time into recruiting, and he always treated me really well. So I always enjoyed him, and we still talk here and there. And obviously, he's been really successful. So I've had a great experience with him.
Is there? I know you mentioned all the kind of minute detail things that he did. Was that maybe the biggest thing you took away from him, or is there something else that maybe stands out to you that you take with you on your coaching journey?
From him, and again, I was a student assistant. It was just a year, but he treated us really well. So not that I didn't already want to do that, but it's just like treat everybody, even the bottom of the totem pole, the best you can. He didn't play in college, so that was something else that I looked up to him about. And then he was from Nashville too. but yeah, just, very analytical person, which I think I am too. And just how hard he worked. And he's, he does grind away, but like, I'm really big into working smart and not working hard, but just work smart, don't work stupid. Like, I just don't think there's any reason to, like for my assistants, like they're never going to just be in the office just to be there, but working hard, but really just working smart and making, the best use of your time.
Absolutely. Yeah. So are you the assistant athletic director and SID?
So this year I was that.
Okay. You were both of them?
I was. And then, so June 1st, I'll start as athletic director.
Oh, okay.
And we hired an SID. So next year I'll just be AD and head coach. So
talk to us about stepping into that role. I mean, that's got to be a handful. I know Grant even mentioned this too when I was texting him. He said, money's different at the NAIA level. Now you're having to deal with athletic director stuff. I mean, what's going through your mind? What's that going to be like for you?
I can't say for sure, not fully stepping in yet, but I mean, last year, like you said, as assistant AD, I did do a lot of that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Our AD was our dean of students at the time, and like he doesn't know, much about athletics. It was just like in the middle of the pandemic, not wanting to go out and hire an AD, so we just sort of tag teamed it for this year. And he helped a lot, but at the same time, like I said, he doesn't really know athletics. So I sort of feel like I got a lot of on the job training this year. So I'm hoping it doesn't like take away from, me and my time with my team and my thoughts and stuff like that. But it does put more on your plate. But I mean, that's just part of being at the small college level, is wearing multiple hats and having to do some things that other people at other levels wouldn't have to do.
So going back a little bit, talk to us a little bit about your time at Freed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Freed was great. A lot of history there with my family. Kyle, like you said, played there. Got to know his coaching staff like really well while he played there. And then when I was a senior, going into my senior year at Chattanooga, Freed had like an incident where they had, a bunch of openings. It's a Christian school and some guys got in trouble. And their coach called me and he was kind of like, hey, I need some players. And so I had a couple of friends that I thought would be pretty good players. And so I kind of set them up. And long story short, Cameron Lewis was the transfer from Fisk. We were friends from when he played at Overton. And Cam got Conference Player of the Year and NAIA All-American. And Evan Forhatz.
I know Cam. I forgot he was there. I know Cam.
Yep. Cam played his senior year there. And then Evan Forhatz was a lead transfer, who's a Ravenwood guy.
Okay.
And I got him there. And then Evan was Conference Newcomer of the Year, first team All-Conference, honorable mention All-American, led the country in assists per game. Like, couldn't have gone better, basically. So it was kind of like, if he didn't want to give me the GA spot before, I think that was sort of the thing that forced his hand to give me a chance.
Dude, that's awesome.
And then when I got there, Grant was coming into his freshman year. So my first year as GA was Grant's freshman year, so that was really fun to.
That's pretty. That's cool.
We were, in the city in West Tennessee, away from home together. His first year in a college program, and we were on a really good team. We beat Murray State that year in an exhibition game and won 25 games. Went to the national tournament, and working for a great boss and Jason Shelton. And great group of guys, just similar like you guys experienced at Lipscomb. The people are what make it, a good experience. And so that was a great year. And then the second year there, we won 19 games and I learned a lot, worked for a different head coach, and then, got my master's there and then headed down to Tampa, Florida.
Awesome. Okay. So you go to Tampa, Florida, you're the assistant coach for 3 years. What's going through your mind when all of a sudden you get that bump?
To assistant or to head coach?
To head. From 3 years at Florida College, you get the bump. What are you doing? Like, what's going through your mind?
Super excited, dream come true. Like, I'm sure you guys, already have those same aspirations. It's like you always think when you're an assistant or a GA or whoever, like you always just think, what would I do? Or I would do this or I would do that. And it's just like, okay, now I get to do it, So it's really exciting. And something for me that made it awesome was like how excited our players were for me. that was like another thing that made it really cool. And then, I mean, I just hit the ground running. It's just like, okay, we got to sign this guy. We need a point guard, We signed a kid from kind of the greater Orlando area that ended up getting freshman of the year in our league. I signed him like a month and a half after I got the job. And just one of those guys where you just knew when you signed him, like, this is going to be, big. So I don't know, man, it was like a ton of excitement. And really the first thing you got to do is like, it's about players and then filling out your staff. I guess the two, besides cheering for yourself, like right away, it's just like, okay, I got to, like I said, fill these needs, and then I need to, hire staff. And so the first day I got the job, I remember my phone was, the first day it was like public. My phone was going crazy. And, there's a bunch of people like congratulating you, but then there's also like so many calls about a guy trying to get his guy an assistant position. Like that is, I probably had, and, we're just tiny little Florida College. I probably had 50 of those calls just that first day, or at least a text message saying, "Hey, call me. I want to talk to you about this." So, but that's that's it. Once you get over the excitement, it's just roster building and build your staff.
It's awesome. Okay, so I'm kind of jumping back, but it really has to do with being your time at Freed and your time at Florida College. You hinted on it that you guys were really successful at Freed. I believe you were second in the nation one year in offensive points per game at 92 a game or something around there. So tell me a little bit about the offenses that you've been a part of.
So the offenses that I've been a part of have all been the same. I stole it from, I try and emulate what Jason Shelton was teaching at Freed-Hardeman, and he got it from Don Meyer at Lipscomb. He played for him and was an assistant there. So, a lot of the guests that you've had on and the trees that you guys kind of come from is sort of the same thing that we're talking about here. It's 4 out, 1 in motion. We're just focused on spacing and setting off ball actions for each other and reading the actions. That's really all it comes down to, and getting players that can do that and spacing the floor with shooting and getting smart and unselfish guys. And we ran that my first year at Freed is when I kind of really learned it a lot. And second year, the coach that we got was interested in continuing to run it, but he didn't really know much about it. So me and the assistant at the time kind of got to really get our hands dirty and teach him that and teach our team it, which was really good for me. And then when I got hired down here, the head coach was, he thought really highly of what we did at Freed as well. And so he sort of gave me the reins to the offense again. And if you look at, where I've been, and it's funny, like I have a buddy of mine, he's always laughing. He's like, dude, everywhere you go, the team makes a lot of threes. They have a lot of assists.
Yes.
It's the same offense. So, it's kind of the same players we're trying to target too. So, until I figure out something better, I'll probably stick to what I know. The bread and butter is the Don Meyer Lipscomb motion offense.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. No need to reinvent the wheel.
You took the words out of my mouth, Asa. But I was also so going off of that. Obviously, it's not just as easy as saying, "Okay, we're going to run this. All right, go out there and do it." Are you more into the 5-on-5 aspect in practice? Are you more a breakdown kind of drill guy? Like, what is something that you emphasize, I guess, when it comes to building your offense?
Yeah. Building the offense, I do like to do breakdown drills. In general, though, like to get the skills to do the offense, like I'm a huge proponent of playing, like just play as much as possible. 5-on-5, I think, is the best thing you could possibly do because it's the most realistic thing. But, of course, there are times we do 5-on-0 stuff. Before practice when we're getting ready and stuff, like we'll just do 5-on-0 motion. Obviously, there's no defenders out there, so you're just predetermining what you're going to do cut-wise and things like that. But I just think it's good to get a bunch of passes and get used to those movements. And then when we're building our offense, like throughout the season, we'll do we call it 3-on-3 reading. And so that's just, you got one guy with the ball. He's got one action he has to look at. That's it. And so, it's two guys. They're, setting whatever it is, the down screen, a flare, a back pick. And that guy, all he has to do is read that one action. And the guys think they're just playing 3-on-3. Well, the freshmen are just like, oh, cool, we're just playing 3-on-3. They don't understand that I'm training them to look at one thing. You can't shoot, you can't dribble. You got to enter it with a pass. and you got to watch one action. And you're just reading two defenders, and then you go to 4-on-4 from there, and then you go to 5-on-5 from there, and then you go up and down. And you're just breaking down those reads, and you're just giving them eventually more options, and then okay, now I can dribble it and things like that.
That's so good.
Hey, Thank
you, Coach.
It sounds like you got that offense down, Coach. It sounds like you got it down.
I don't know. We're only 80 a game this year. We got to get better at that.
Yeah. Hey, so I want to ask you this, and this is for Grant's sake. He said did you have a inspiration, idol, hero, somebody that kind of steered you to get to where you are now? Was there one person, multiple people, anything like that?
I think it's multiple people. I mentioned a guy earlier, and I didn't drop his name, but he was the assistant when my brother Kyle played at Freed-Hardeman. He did all the recruiting and stuff. His name was Ryan Parnell. He was a good friend of mine. He passed away in 2016, but he was a guy that knew everybody. I mean, he just knew coaches at all levels across, high school, college, all levels of college. And he was just a good old boy that everybody liked. And, we were good friends. So he's somebody that I think of a lot. But then, other than that, it's just, Coach King is someone I look up to a lot. And Coach Shelton, Jason Shelton, Rick Bird, Lenny Acuff, Chuck Benson's a good friend of mine at Carson Newman. So there's 100 people I can name, that are that way. But I guess there's not like one specific person. I look up to a lot of NBA coaches too. I like, Popovich and Kerr and Brad Stevens. I steal a lot of his stuff. And then Taylor Jenkins for the Grizzlies is somebody that I'm really into. Think he does a great job. Would love to talk hoops with him maybe one day.
Yeah. He's got that whole squad's got a little chip on their shoulder right now.
I'm looking forward to playing in
probably
an hour. I'm about to watch it.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the beauty about coaching, man. You can take anything you want from any coach you want and kind of mold it and make it your own.
Exactly.
Doesn't have to come from one spot. Chase, you mind doing some rapid fire questions with us here real quick?
I am, and I gotta say I'm prepared for these because listen to the episodes, and I don't think you're gonna like some of my answers because a lot of them depend on a variety of factors.
Yeah. All right, that's fine.
Oh, I thought it was like a setup to you was going ahead and saying the final answer was not who you wanted, but
all right, okay. Last technical.
I got one, so I got two this year, and the last one was at Faulkner. Both of mine were in that gym, in Faulkner's gym, but it was at Faulkner probably in late January, probably.
Did you deserve it?
Actually, no, because there was this crazy error. I'm gonna send you the video of the live stream after this. But in the first half, we had last possession. No, we didn't have last possession, but we shot and we missed, and we got the offensive rebound, which reset the shot clock. Which now it's off. We did have last possession, and it was like an 8-point game. And the ref just blows it dead, and he's like, "That's the half. That's the half." And there's like 14 seconds left. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And, Scott knows that that's incorrect. So he just tells his team, he's like, we just got off lucky. Let's just head to the locker room. He's like, "We're gone. We're leaving." And so the other two refs are like, they have no clue what this guy's talking about.
Right.
And I'm like, "Dude, what are you talking about this game? We just got an offensive rebound." He's like, "Nope, shot clock malfunction." I'm like, "Dude, it's fine. It's off because, the rebound." But anyway, I go to halftime. He comes out and he tells me, "Man, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm so sorry." And I'm just like, "Dude, you screwed us out of a possession. Like, we really needed that." And so anyway, he made such an egregious error. I just kind of thought that I had immunity for the rest of the game because he admittingly screwed up so bad. And so, I just said something to him and just screamed kind of near him, and he just teed me up, and I sat down, and then he came up to me later in the game, and he's like, "Hey, you don't have to sit down, right?" And I was like, "No, I need to."
This is for me, not for you.
Yes, and we played the next day, and I was like, "I'm not getting another technical foul. I don't care what happens."
That's funny. You said you thought you had immunity for the rest of the game.
I really did, and I don't talk to the refs a lot, so getting a technical is not something I plan on doing in the future. But that was just a weird incident.
Yeah. You ever dunked a basketball in a 10-foot rim?
Lord, no.
No,
absolutely not. The best I ever did was hang on the rim, and I thought I was awesome for doing that.
Let's see. All right, you're up 3 at the end of a game. Do you foul or let it play out?
This is one of the ones that depends on a variety of factors. Yeah. You know, if it's a situation where they have another guy that's just like cooking like crazy, I definitely want to foul. But I think you also got to be wary of how much time's left. Like, if they have the ball with 29 seconds, I'm not just going to go, hey, guys, hack them at 27. Like, I want to get it as late as possible, you know, to foul them. But if it's a team that doesn't shoot the ball very well, or if it's a team that's huge that I think will get an offensive rebound, I probably wouldn't. But I do lean towards foul. I like the foul thing that, you theoretically shouldn't get beat if you do it. So
Right. All right. Leave your best player in with 2 fouls in the first half.
Yeah, another depending on the guy kind of thing. If it's a big, probably take him out and maybe leave him out. But my best player got 2 fouls a lot this year, and I kept him in most of the time. I mean, you take him out initially just because, they might be coming out anyway on a rotation. But I'm not just leave them out all the time because, like, if they foul out, they're out all the time. So why would you already act like they've fouled out if they haven't, But you got to trust the guy. If you're up by a lot, obviously you have some leeway and you can keep them out. But if it's a big-time game and we're behind, like, I'm going to let it ride.
Yeah. Coach, the sole reason I ask that question all the time is because Coach King was so adamant about leaving – about not taking your best player out, as high school, you got 5-5, he was so adamant about not taking your best player out in the first half if you had 2 fouls. And I'm always curious as to what people think about that.
Well, Coach Sheldon, the guy I look up to a lot, he 100%, if you get 2 fouls, you're done.
You're done, yeah.
Doesn't matter who it's national championship down 15, does not matter. Yeah, you're done. Right. And I was just like, oh. I mean, because Kyle, when he played, he'd get a foul that first possession. He wasn't playing D the rest of the first half.
Yeah. Golly.
So, yeah, I'm just like, I'm never going to give my players incentive to not play defense.
Yep. Go for the tie, go for the win.
The best shot available.
Yep.
If we're down 2, that's like your question, we're down 2. We're just, best get the ball in space to one of our better players, and if he's open for 3, let it fly. If it's, a backdoor cut or whatever, we just want the best shot available.
Right. Casual or professional on the sidelines?
I like either one. At home, I wear usually a shirt and tie at least. I'm not like a suit every single game guy. But on the road, I like wearing casual really just because I like to pack casual.
Yeah, it makes packing so much easier.
I suck at ironing, and I don't like having to worry about all that. So I like to just bring the whole, golf pants and fleece on the road.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I did get, though, that makes life so much easier is one of those suitcases, where I don't know what kind of suitcase that is.
Mine broke midway through the year.
Yeah, it makes life so much easier.
It does. It still can get some creases in it, though, and stuff.
It can. Yeah. You got to take it out and hang it up as soon as you get to the hotel room. Yeah. Early morning practice or evening or night practice?
Not early morning. Whatever. I want the practice to be the most productive it can, and in my opinion, the guys will not be as productive in the morning as they will later. And I'm also not a huge fan of waking up that early, but it's more about them than it is me.
Yeah, absolutely. If you could not coach basketball, what would you do?
I'd love to do something with football just because I'm such a football junkie. Yeah. But considering I'm not qualified for that, I'm not qualified for anything really else. But I'm really into like true crime stuff. So like, it would be cool to be like something like, I don't know about a detective, but like I always think those shows are cool where they're trying to make like a profile on somebody, based on I don't know, what's that one show?
Person of interest or something?
Oh, it's I can't think of it now, but it's like one of my favorite shows. They just haven't the season in forever.
Criminal Minds.
What is it?
Criminal Minds?
No, it's like the Unabomber thing when they're trying to like profile the guy.
Mindhunter. Mindhunter. Yeah, Mindhunter.
That would be something I would have a huge interest in.
Nate, there's got to be some correlation between basketball coaches and loving true crime stuff, because everybody we have, like, you're like the 3rd or 4th person to say they do something in a true crime.
Really?
Yeah, there's got to be some. Got to be some correlation.
Because we're just interested in human beings, probably.
So we got something wired up there, because I love true crime stuff too. Okay, you play any golf?
I don't play golf.
You
That's
don't
like
play
one of the things that, any conversation that's about golf, I'm just like, I'm out.
You don't watch it at all?
I don't watch it. I don't do anything with it. I don't mess with it.
Dude,
Well, I got to brag. While we talk about golf, I got to brag about myself then. I shot a 40 on 9 holes. It was 4 over and best I've ever played.
Where was
So
that?
just to give myself a little pat on the back real quick.
Nate,
so.
you're officially starting to worry me, Nate. I'm not sure I want to play you right now.
Why is that?
Good.
Well, he's been sending me, texting me his scores and stuff, and it's looking pretty good. And my scores haven't been looking that great recently. So,
where do you guys play?
Coach, you have to understand that after freshman year of college, after sophomore year of college, I never had a summer to play golf because I had surgeries every single summer.
Yeah.
Every single one until this summer.
This was the first. You haven't had surgery. You haven't had a surgery any summer except this one.
Yeah, since sophomore year.
Better be careful.
Golly, Nate.
I know, not going away.
Okay.
Don't play basketball anywhere.
Should every team make the conference tourney?
I think that depends on the level. I think at the Division I level, man, now that I say it, I don't even know. But I don't want to speak for other people's leagues. You know what I mean? Like, I know for our league that we're joining this year, there's like 17 teams in it, so that would be absurd.
Wow.
So no for us, but then for a team that has a league that has 8 teams, I don't see the harm in letting all 8 people in. I think the Gulf South that Nate and them are in is a super deep league. So I think it depends on the league.
Yeah. Okay. Second to last one. I'm giving you a different one. You're gonna like this, and I think you'll know what I mean when I ask it. What's your favorite book?
Why should I know what you mean?
Grant said that he texts y'all, or that you openly brag about never reading a book.
That is correct. I don't know about brag, but anytime someone tells me to read a book, I just say I don't read books. I don't read books. I'm a big podcast guy.
Yeah.
I am a big movie guy. I read a ton of articles, but I don't read books.
Yeah. Good answer.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm certainly I read a book way less than once in a blue moon. All right, last one. LeBron or Jordan?
Yeah, this one's easy for me. It's LeBron, and it's so funny that this question is like it's like religion and politics now. It's like
it is.
Everybody has their stance, and you're not going to change their mind. So I really don't want to elaborate too much, but nostalgia is a hell of a drug. That's all I'll say. And, LeBron probably will not be my answer for the best player ever in 15, 20 years, but because I believe that the game is going to evolve and players are going to get even better. But so I'll never be a guy that's going to pound my fist and die on a hill that somebody will never be. Nobody will ever be better than that person because I just think that's stubborn and ass. Yeah. For now, I think it's LeBron, and I don't think that takes anything away from Jordan,
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? We're just going to leave it there. LeBron, that's the answer. We're going to leave it there. But hey, with the way Luka's playing, he may be the best player in the league in 3 or 4 years. Goodness gracious.
Who's that, Luka?
Part, huh?
What'd you say?
Who'd you say you cut out?
I'm sorry. Yeah. I said, can you hear me?
Yeah, and I didn't hear who Asa said either.
Yeah, no, we're good. I think we're back. We all did cut out for a second. I was just saying, with the way Luka's been playing, he may be the best player in the league in 3 or 4 years.
He's ridiculous. Last night was crazy.
He's unbelievable.
That 2 for 1 off 1 foot he shot was ridiculous.
Oh my goodness! And there was still like 24 seconds left in the not 24. There was like 20 seconds left in the shot clock. And
20 for 1. He made it. He made it with 31 on the clock.
Yeah, golly. Well, Coach, man, appreciate you coming on the show with us today. Where can the people find Florida College on Instagram or Twitter? Where can people find you on Instagram or Twitter?
I think mine is just my name with an underscore in between it. And then I know our Twitter account is at @FC_hoops_. And I don't know our Instagram name. I mean, I'm sure if you type in Florida College basketball, it'll come up. But I want to give you guys a suggestion to bring on my older brother, Kyle Teichmann.
I meant to text you about that. I'm gonna do that.
He listens to all the episodes, and he's smarter than me, and a better player than me and older than me, so he would be better than me.
I'm gonna do that. I'm a horrible person for not already saying that, but for not trying to reach out to you about that. We're gonna do that. Coach, appreciate it again. You can find myself on Instagram at the Ace of Spades with a Z on the end. You can find Nathan on Twitter at Coach Nate Moran. You can find him on Instagram at Nate5_Moran. You can find Mind of a Coach on Twitter at oh my gosh, I gotta redo that whole thing again. Goodness gracious, whatever.
Yeah, what's this episode gonna be called?
I'm probably gonna title it probably Working Smart.
Yeah.
Is that fine?
Yeah. I was just wondering today when I was listening to y'all and seeing the name, I was like, what's mine gonna be called? Like worst player to ever come on the pond? I don't know.
Oh man, no, not at all. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have I also like your quote that you just said though. You said nostalgia is a hell of a drug. That's a good episode title.
Yeah, I probably should.
I'm not gonna make that the title. But
don't make that the title.
Well, Chase, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely appreciate you guys. You do a good job.
We'll talk to you soon.
Alrighty, later.
Thank you, Chase.
Free candy for the masses, sweet with stereo sound. Like the Vaders and the Gators in the breakbeat tune. Automator on the fader, corner shop with the boom. Slapping hands with my brothers as we rise to the sun. Les enfants feel the rhythm of the rhymers you stone. Same on appel, baby doll, for your pleasure tonight. Here's the gender with the sweets, we be like salt on ice. Check it. Here's the gender with the sweets, we be like salt on ice.